This video will demonstrate how to remove and install liners and wear plates using GD Energy Products tools, as well as recommended best practices. To remove the liner, use the GD Liner Puller tool, which consists of two parts. Part 1 is the push plate. The push plate has a handle. Use it to lift and place it onto the liner up against the studs. On the removal tool, you'll find a bolt that folds over and opens. Align the groove on the tool with the groove at the end of the liner. Once it's in place, roll the bolt over and tighten up the nut, and then start working your bolts into the plate. Once the studs are drawn up against the push plate, turning each stud in a star pattern, the liner puller tool will start to pull the liner from the module. Next, the removal of the wear plate. Your wear plate puller tool consists of 3 bearing puller jaws, a plate with tension spring, along with a strong back bar and 2 jam nuts. Also an all-thread bar that runs all the way through the middle. Now that you've got the wear plate puller tool installed, you can see we applied 2 nuts, one on each side for the jam bar. To set the jaws, draw the tension in on the spring until the jaws are expanded and set into place. As you're rotating it, you're going to pull the wear plate puller tool out evenly. As the wear plate comes out, remove the puller tool to expose the wear plate. On the PZ2000, also known as the PXL, the wear plate has an internal bore seal. You always want to inspect the bore seal gaskets when removed for fraying, cuts, or nicks on the seal or edges of the seal. If any are seen, replace the seal. The PZ2000 wear plate has a 1-inch flange or shoulder that is specific to this model of pump. The notch groove in the flange is a weep hole and needs to be at the 6 o'clock position when the wear plate is installed. If the gasket fails, water will bypass it and drip down the frame to the bottom of the cradle area. It's a telltale sign that you've got a bad gasket and it needs to be replaced. To remove the bore seal, take a flat tip screwdriver, lay it flat onto the bore seal, tilt it very slightly, then push inward where you have the flat tip screwdriver in between the bore seal and the wear plate and use the lever to pull it out. Next, grab your replacement bore seal, apply a light coat of grease, and press it into the groove. No tools are needed. Use the palm of your hand to press it on fully. Before you install the wear plate, ensure the weep hole is at the 6 o'clock position and apply a light coat of grease onto the wear plate. This prevents the bore seal from rotating once it's installed. Once the wear plate is installed by hand, take a wooden board, a hammer, and give it a light tap to make sure that it's installed all the way. Before installing the liner, inspect the liner gasket groove for any burrs. If there are any burrs or nicks, remove them with emery cloth. Ensure the gasket groove is completely clean. Once the liner is in good condition, apply a light coat of grease to the liner gasket and insert into the groove. Make sure paint or rust has been removed from the end of the liner, then fit your liner into place. Now the final step of installing the liner clamp. Before applying the nuts, coat each stud with a light coat of Never Cease paste. Before you install the liner clamp, you're going to ensure that the 4 metal bushings are in place on the studs in the 4 corners. Once you apply the liner clamp, the bushing will slide into the notches on the liner clamp. Once the liner clamp's installed, you reinstall the nuts on the studs. Once all the nuts are installed, take your 2-inch drive socket and make sure they are all snug. Next, use a breaker bar to hand tighten the nuts using a star pattern. Now that all the nuts are snug, you're going to use a B-rad or high torque tool to torque on the nuts. All torque values can be found in the GD Energy Products Pump Service Manual. Since we're using lubrication, torque is going to be 1,050 foot-pounds. We're going to torque them to 525 foot-pounds first, then come back and torque to 1,050. Now that we've covered the basics for removal and installation of the liner and wear plate in your HD module, if you need any additional support, feel free to reach out to us. We have field service technicians available in all major shale plays. If you need additional help and support, we offer Pump University, where we will come to your location and teach your employees how to be experts in pump maintenance.